Hello and welcome back to Whirlwind Radio. This is Marcelo Sugdeo. A Tesla car hits a parked police vehicle. Is semi-autonomous driving safe? I will talk more about that. And it looks like we may be replacing our cracked, peeled, rusting license plates with digital license plates on our cars in the near future. There's yet another case where a car driving in autopilot mode crashed recently. This time it's Tesla's Model S. The car crashed into an unoccupied parked police vehicle in Laguna Beach, California. The driver told investigators that the Tesla was in autopilot mode at the time. Now, photos of the crash scene showed extensive damage to the front end of the Tesla and the rear side of the police car. Autopilot is a semi-autonomous technology that Tesla says is a form of advanced cruise control. So the car was in advanced cruise control mode when it hit the parked police car. So it's not like this was a head-on collision. From the pictures, you can see that the car came across a lane and hit the parked police car. In response to this, Tesla says that it could not immediately confirm the driver's report that the car was indeed in autopilot mode. Tesla has always been clear about that autopilot doesn't make the car impervious to all accidents. Elon Musk, the chief executive of Tesla, always boasts that his company's vehicles are among the safest in the industry. But this year, it is causing him a headache, as several crashes and fire incidents involving Tesla vehicles were reported. Last month, the U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, that's the NHTSA, said it was sending a team to investigate the crash of a Tesla car in Utah. The driver was traveling at 60 miles, that's almost 100 kilometers per hour, when the Model S smashed into a fire truck stopped at a red light. Police in Utah said that data from Tesla showed that the driver enabled autopilot about 1 minute and 22 seconds before the crash. The report said as well that she took her hands off the steering wheel within 2 seconds of engaging the system, and then did not touch the steering wheel for the next 80 seconds until the crash happened. They're also investigating a fatal crash in March that involved a Tesla Model X using autopilot that struck a highway divider. The agency is also probing the January crash of a Tesla car apparently traveling in autopilot that struck a parked fire truck. Both of those incidents were also in California. The National Transportation Safety Board is also probing 4 Tesla crashes that have occurred since last year, including the 3 under review by the NHTSA. Tesla's Model S owner's manual warns some autopilot functions cannot detect all objects and may not brake for stationary vehicles or objects, especially when traveling over 50 miles per hour and when a vehicle ahead of the driver moves out of your driving path and a stationary vehicle or object is in front of you. So if there's a stationary car or object is in front of it, it will hit it according to the owner's manual. So this doesn't make sense to me, because to use the autopilot mode, not just in city driving, but also on the highway, it doesn't really make sense, because one of the cases that I've already highlighted, it pointed out that the car hit the highway divider. So it is not safe to use. It will be quite interesting to see what Tesla does going forward about their autopilot mode in their cars and how they will work to make this safer for the owners and also for pedestrians. Next story. With everything going on these days in terms of digital, it would be so cool to have a digital license plate. And that is what California Governor Jerry Brown wanted to get going 5 years ago when he signed a legislation authorizing digital license plates to be sold in California. Now, finally, these new digital display boards are hitting the streets. And that's neat, but one thing though, they are not cheap. Those who are opting to buy the digital plates can register their cars electronically and get rid of the need to physically place stickers on their license plates each year. This, of course, would save money for the state. The digital plates come with their own computer chips, batteries, and wireless communication systems, and they may also be used to display personal messages if the DMV decides to allow that. Dealerships are expected to sell the plates at $699, not including installation costs. Users also must pay a monthly fee of about $7. At present, digital plates are only permitted on the rear of the vehicle, and California also requires front plates, so the owners still must mount a standard plate there. So how many digital plates are out there by now? Well, according to the DMV, there are only 116 cars with digital plates currently. And now under this pilot phase that they're running, the department must report back to the state by July 2020 about how the plates are performing. And what they are doing through this phase is to identify and also detail potential benefits for the state. A Bay Area company is the sole contractor on this pilot phase, and the firm makes the plate and then sells it to the auto dealerships. Later this year, digital plates are also expected to roll out in Florida, Arizona, and Texas. Neville Boston, he's the founder of the company that has been contracted to make these plates. He said that some businesses will use them as mini billboards to advertise their products and services. But this will only be done when the car is stopped. The license plate number will still appear on the screen when messages pop up, but it will be smaller and tucked into the upper right corner of the screen. As with all new technology, cybersecurity and hacking are a concern. While the ability to track a car's location using plates' wireless communication system may be ideal for fleet owners, others may not like this idea. For me, the cost is so much higher than the benefits that would be derived from this. I understand with everything going on in terms of digital that this may be a norm in the near future. But until then, if the cost per unit does not go down, it will be a difficult switch to make for car owners. With the fallout with Facebook, teens are more interested than ever before in YouTube. A recent study conducted by the Pew Research Center reveals that 85% of teenagers between the ages of 13 and 17 say they use this platform. Closely behind are Instagram at 72% and Snapchat at 69%. Now, these findings indicate an ongoing trend among teenagers of moving away from platforms like Facebook in recent years. A 2015 report pointed out that 71% of teens who reported themselves as Facebook users. Today, that number is around 51%. So quite a drop in Facebook users, especially among teens. According to the study, for the most part, teens tend to use similar platforms regardless of their demographic characteristics. But there are exceptions. And one is lower income teens are more likely to use Facebook than those from a higher income households. So there is a divide there as per the platform that is being used. According to Pew, 95% of teens own their own or even have access to a smartphone. In 2015, it was 73%. So the number is growing. Now, with more teens having access to smartphones than ever before, 45% of them say that they're online on a near constant basis. And we've all heard the points about the effects of smartphone use, and it's becoming an addiction as well. But according to Pew, teens cannot agree about the effects that social media has on their lives. But what they're like about it is the opportunity to explain their views in their own words, and those who believe that social media has a mostly positive effect on them tend to stress issues related to and also connecting with others. On the other end of the spectrum, there are platforms like Twitter, with 32% of teens using that, Tumblr 9%, and Reddit at 7%. The report concludes that it is clear that social media environment today revolves less around a single platform than it did 3 years ago. And before we end, I would like to share with you, especially since Father's Day is coming up, if you're looking for a gift for your parents, there's an option that you can look at, and it is a tablet that is called GrandPad. I think it's a fairly neat little product that can be used to keep in touch with your parents. What I like about it, it has a monthly subscription that you can get unlimited 4G LTE data, so you don't really need to use Wi-Fi. And if, for example, you're buying this for your parents, you can be able to maybe take care of that subscription for him or her. And also it has ad-free unlimited music. Hey, who don't like music? I know my mom loves music, so this would be nice for her. It comes with customizable security options as well, and mobile access for caregivers and family, and much more. So if you're not sure what to get your dad for Father's Day, this might be something to look at, especially if, say, your dad is not that tech savvy. What this product offers is that you can set yourself up as an administrator on your phone through their GrandPad app, where you can be able to manage that device for him. To learn more about this, you can just do a search for GrandPad on Google to see more about this device. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It is a great pleasure to have you as a listener of Whirlwind Radio. If you're not a subscriber yet, you can do so on iTunes. Just search for Whirlwind Radio. That's WRLWND Radio. From the Whirlwind team, this is your host, Marcelo Sugdeo, saying, stay safe in the technology world.